Good morning, everybody. For this week, I wanted to do something a little bit different since we're learning from home and we have a different kind of setup to the way that we're doing life. I thought it would be a good time to kind of pause with our history learning to reflect on what has been taught so far this year, to get a sense of time, and then also to look for some cool videos to give you guys the opportunity to find media that appeals to you, for you to figure out how to use Google Sheets a little bit better and to turn that into your own fancy timeline. So, the timeline that you are going to be working with today, I've kind of made the skeleton for you, and you're just going to be jazzing it up a little bit. But in the future, we're going to use the same sheets, the same strategy to add more historical events. So for today, you're just kind of getting familiar and adding some cool graphics to our shell of a timeline that I've made for you. So the assignment for today is the timeline, the brief history of America. This is a video where I'm explaining you how to do it, and there's a slideshow with directions that I'm going to walk you through. Okay, so the point of this timeline is to understand where are we in 2020, what have we as a country gone through up until this time, where are we headed, how does like the time space situation impact our lives. So there is a sample timeline. And this is what I have made, and this is just kind of the outline. You are going to, yours is going to look like this, except for with different media or different, you can change anything you want. You can change the titles, the explanations, or the media. So the first thing that you're going to do is to use the arrows to view each of event, and you're going to add on to this boringish timeline here. Okay. So you'll notice that you can zoom out to see where we are in time. Okay. And you can move that along. So notice obviously there's not all that much going on. I just put some very basic events, or you can zoom in. There's a way, if you get super advanced, you can make all this color coded and cool, but we're not going to do that just yet. So 1450, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy created. You can add some media here because it looks a little boring. So that could be an image or a video or a GIF or a map. In 1492, we have Columbus discovering America. Again, you can add your own media there. In English in North America, and you can tell that this timeline, it doesn't have to be just one event. It can be over a course of time here. So you can see it runs from 1607 to 1776, when we were no longer English colonies, but declared independence to be our own country. We have the American Revolution. Also, it's a little bit of a timeline, like a, I have no words because it's 5 o'clock in the morning. That goes 1775 to 1783. You can add your own media here. This is an example of media that I found for the Louisiana Purchase. This is a GIF from Wikipedia, but you can see how land changed ownership over time to give us the Louisiana Purchase. And you can go back and forth on that. So if you, well, maybe you can't. If you refresh it, you can watch that again. So if you wanted to fast forward a little bit, we're at the Louisiana Purchase. There we go. And it's cool. 1763, you can see owned by the United Kingdom, England, and Spain. And then in 1803, look what happens, right? 1803. Okay. The United States doubles in size. So if you don't like that media, you can change it up with your own. Civil War, World War One. I have this comparison video between your World War One and World War Two, just because that's not something that we're going to teach this year. So it's just kind of a cool introduction. Great Depression. So again, all of these events, you can add your own media to. I'm going to ask for this assignment that you do 5. So you can pick 5 events that I haven't done, or if you didn't like what I've done, you can replace it with your own. Okay. So the way to turn your work into a timeline is by using Google Sheets. So you have your own copy of Google Sheets with your name on it. it started off from this template. So I added all of these events. You can see my media here that I've added. So the way I did that, so for example, for the Louisiana Purchase, I thought it would be cool to search for a gift to see how land changed ownership over time. So all I did in Google was Louisiana Purchase gift, North America land, something like that. And I looked and I ended up with this random Business Insider like website. But I'm not using the Business Insider link. Instead, I found this from Wikimedia. So I checked it out. I thought that was cool. And then in order to get that imported into my timeline, I did a 2-finger tap and I did copy image address. Okay. And then I go over here, I find the event that I'm looking at. So Louisiana Purchase in this case, and I control V. Where'd it go? Copy image address. And that doesn't work. So I think I might have done this. Let's see what happens. And I think it worked. So it's kind of tricky to tell. Let's see what if I go back. Yeah, that was it. It was a Business Insider. Yeah. Anyway, so you need to make sure that it's a valid URL. And the way that sometimes it'll say it's not valid, but if you just highlight this and open it into a new tab, yeah, and then make sure that you copy this URL back in. Sometimes if you just go back and forth, it tends to work out a little bit better. Okay. So I did the same thing with World War II. I wanted a YouTube video, so I just searched YouTube for World War I. And obviously you're looking for something that's school appropriate. You're going to want to preview these. I chose something that I thought would be helpful and wasn't like 30 minutes long. So then the same thing, once you find a video that you like and you've watched it, you copy, so you can open and copy the URL, and then you paste it wherever you want it. Go. Copying, there we go. Okay. And what's really cool about the way, once you get all these steps once you go through them, once you add all your media, they immediately, once you go through the rest of the steps, change your personal timeline. So if I change this picture to something, what do you want a picture of? I'm feeling a little Garfield-y right now, like a lazy cat. So I'm going to find an image of Garfield and I'm going to change it for you. And then you're going to see how cool is this, that copy image address. And my Chromebook works a little slow, so it's going to be a second. It's working. Sometimes I find this to work better. Open a new tab, maybe. Are you going to work a little better for me? Yes. So copy image address. Let's see if that works any better. So sometimes if they look like this, that's not going to work out. You just kind of have to, there we go. I think that one might have done it. So let's see if my timeline, because these are linked, my sheet and my timeline are linked, yours will be too. If I refresh that, see if the picture changes. Cool. All right, so what I showed you there was also a hint of if you find a picture that you like, click on it, and then you can do the copy image address, and that'll work better. Okay. So I'm going to undo this in my sheets because I don't think the first picture should actually be Garfield. Let's see if I can undo enough to bring back my original picture, refresh it, see if it changes back. Come back. There we go. It's loading the new media. Okay, so let's make a copy of this so I can show you the next step. So first thing that you're going to do is from this assignment, open your own sheets. So it's going to look like this, except for it's going to have your name on it. Second step is to read through the events. So I've given them to you. You can read the headline and the text. So it's like the title and the explanation is how I like to think of it. Step 3, you're looking for media. So you're looking for 5 to copy and paste into where it says media over here, column L. You can't mess with these columns at all, otherwise it won't work as a timeline. So you're just looking for media in L. Once you have your 5 done, or you can always do more if you want to be an overachiever, the next thing you're going to do is one step that's going to help turn this into your timeline. And this is where things get a little bit tricky. So that's why I made my own copy. You're going to have to publish this sheet to the web. So in your own personal copy, you're going to go to File, Publish to the Web. It's going to work. Work. I gotta go to work. Hopefully yours works faster than mine. And then a dialog box is going to pop up and it's going to ask, do you want this entire? Yes, just hit the green publish button. Are you sure you want to publish? Yes, sure am. Okay. Then you're going to close out of this, even though it wants you to copy these things. So you publish the web. Your step 5, you're going to copy and paste your sheet URL into a private comment to me on this assignment. So your URL looks like this. You're going to copy it. You're going to go to your assignment and you're going to paste it as a comment to me. What I'm going to do then, and this is something that you can do if you're advanced, I'm going to reply with a comment with a link to your very own timeline that I got from here. So this is the bonus stuff that you can do on your own, or you can just send it to me and I'll do it for you. So timeline.js is where this comes from. That's where I got the template. You did the publish to the web thing already. Then you copied and pasted your sheet. Now I take your URL. So again, that was just from here. I copy and paste it here. There's settings that you can mess with if you're fancy. I am not. And then this is what I'm going to send back to you. In this link, I'm copying it and I'm just pasting it into a new tab. Oops. Pasting it. That link, it magically turns whatever is in your sheet into a fancy, pretty looking timeline. Okay. And then anytime you edit your sheet and then you refresh your timeline, it's going to make live changes for you. So that is pretty cool. So this is something that we are going to be building on over the next week or 2 or 3. Who knows? We might do everything in the future using this cool timeline. I also think it might be a cool opportunity for you to journal your coronavirus quarantine stuff. So if you'd like to turn this timeline, you can be super specific on these dates if you'd like. So with what you're doing each day, and you can do your own videos and all that stuff. So it could be a cool way for you to keep track of what's going on. Anyway, good luck. Hit me up on Hangouts if you need any extra special help.